Welcome to Pathways to Greatness, the show where faith meets focus and potential becomes purpose. I'm your host, Jeff Forrester, mental performance coach, speaker, and believer that greatness begins within. Each episode, we'll uncover the biblical principles, mindset strategies, and daily disciplines that help student athletes, parents, and leaders just like you walk boldly in their calling. Let's step onto the path that leads to true greatness, God's way. Philippians 4:4. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember the Lord is coming soon. Philippians 4:4, New Living Translation. Welcome back to Pathways to Greatness podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Forrester, and you have me all by yourself today. So this is a one-on-one between me and you, the listener, and we're going to go over a verse that hit me this morning. I was trying to think of, what do I want to talk about today? Is there a specific topic? And I thought, you know what? This verse has been, it's popped up a couple of times, but today it was very loud and clear. And I thought, let me work through it with you. So Philippians 4:4, always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember the Lord is coming soon. Now I'm going to continue through. So that was Philippians 4:4 and 5, because we need context. And Philippians 4:4 by itself is always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. And we need the context of it because we need the full picture. So when you first looked at always be full of joy in the Lord, I say it again, rejoice. To me, that gives me a picture of standing up with your arms high and you're rejoicing. And it's a happy time. Maybe something went well. Maybe you got the job that you wanted to get. You won the championship you wanted to win. You, I don't know, you just had some of those successful moments. However, this is in all times. So always be full of joy in the Lord. So when you hear that, when you hear the word always, Paul means always. It's not just when things are going well. And so therefore, he's pointing you to joy, which is a decision and not an emotion. And where that comes from, and we know people like this, which is great, because always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all that you do. Remember the Lord is coming soon. So it's being very deliberate. It's saying, let everyone see that you are considerate in all that you do. So remember, always, all that you do. And then here's the part that is, you hear quite often quoted. It's easy to say, very difficult to do. All these verses are very difficult to do. So this is Philippians 4:6, which is my daughter's verse that she has decided that's what she's going to hang her hat on. That's why she changed her number in volleyball to 46. She'd been 8 pretty much her whole career in regular club season. And this year it's 4:6 because it's don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all that he's done. Verse 7, then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So you think about it as if you don't worry about anything, you pray about everything, meaning that you give everything to God, tell him what you need. Have that open relationship where you're willing to share what you need. So if you're having a rough day, tell him what you need and thank him for all that he's done. So you can't forget gratitude. Gratitude brings you back to everything. It can always be worse. Even in the darkest of times, if you allow your imagination to go there, you can think of, wow, there's so many other scenarios that could make this situation worse. I should be glad that I don't have that. Thank God for what you tell God what you need and thank him for all that he's done, then you will experience God's peace. Again, gratitude brings peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So the more you give, the more peace you receive. And that means that we have to, in times that are questionable, we don't have answers. And goodness, people, right now in the world today, I don't have answers other than the evil one is on a massive offensive in the world, in society. And he's targeting pivotal people in powerful positions to do things that are against God's will. And then don't forget, God uses everything for good. The Bible is filled with those things because God may be needing, I don't know, so that's why I say may, needing these people to act this way to bring us into submission, to bring us back to him. So that goes back. Always be full in joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. So the more we trust in him, the more we have faith in him, the more we can rejoice. And I'll tell you from personal experience, if I focus on the bad, I have a really bad day because I can get into the bad pretty quick and I can get into my imagination of what the bad is pretty quick. But you know what brings me back to center? Gratitude. It's joy. And I think often of Paul when he was thrown into the inner prison. So that's the prison inside the prison, in the basement, which I can only imagine in those times back then, because even the nicest of prisons had to be awful. If you're in the inner prison, the basement, and you're still able to lift your hands up to God and sing praises to him in those moments, that's joy. That's true faith and submission to his calling. Knowing that all of this stuff around us is just stuff. Our reward is eternal. Our reward is waiting for us. He created heaven for us, and it's our choice of do we go that way? So always be rejoicing. And there's so many different versions. I'll go, that was the NLT, and we've all heard some of the older, I guess, more common versions. So the English Standard Version is rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. So that's the English Standard Version. And then I will go to, well, I don't do the King James on my phone hardly at all anymore. So anyways, it's not there, so I'm not going to go. But rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. It's a decision. So I'm going to challenge you today. This is a short episode. I want it to plant a seed of, have you made the decision to rejoice always in everything that you do? When times are tough, is your faith in the Lord to get you through? Haven't you gotten through every difficult situation that you've ever been in? If you're listening to this, you have. You'll come out on the other side. So many stories that you read about that are just dramatic and traumatic. And you hear the ups and downs of these people. And now the reason why you hear about them is they've made it through. They've made it through on the other side stronger, better, with more impact. And so many of those stories all point back to them having an encounter with God and turning their life around. Or they've turned their life around. They've seen what life is like on the other side of them trying to do everything, and they give themselves to Christ. I mean, I can think of a dozen right off the top of my head. And it's important to look for those because everybody loves a story of redemption. Everybody loves the story of things got tough, they were resilient, they persevered, and they came out on the other side. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, the story's been chronicled through history. And I just want to encourage you that if times are tough today, or if they're just meh today, apathy's worse than being down, because apathy means you've hardened your heart to the situation. So rejoice in the Lord. Find something that you can be grateful for. Find something that is good for you and how you can hang your hat on that today. Keep pushing forward. That's a critical part of anybody's pathway to greatness, is rejoice. It's a decision. It's not an emotion. If you depend on your life around emotions, it's going to be a roller coaster. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jeff Forrester, and this is Pathways to Greatness.